Toes, check my goals, count my roll, wrist on froze, don't check me.
And afterwards, you said, "Oh my God, I'm really nice."
Check the hoe, gotta make sure every nigga in the set follow code. Stand 10 toes, check my goals, count my roll, wrist on froze, don't check me. Check the hoe, gotta make sure every nigga in the set follow code. I jumped off the porch and I started a wave. Y'all niggas was stuck in the fish tank. When motherfuckers see me, it's nothing but love. The real niggas know I got big rank. The reefer is potent, my flow is the coldest. They can't wait till I get a big break. Told the bitch I'm a killer, she said I'm a minister. Bitch made me feel like Lorenz Tate. I'm keeping it humble without all the stunting. I'm moving more solid than most niggas. Ain't no type of morals and no type of honor, and that be my problem with most niggas. When I'm with the mafia, we get it poppin'. I'm popping my collar like those niggas. Ain't looking for cod, don't want no tilapia. When I tell niggas I'm going fish. When I'm back on the hoe, gotta reel it in. And I ain't a nigga, I'm feeling it. Good spirits, bad vibes, number 5. You know that I'm working 10 to 10. I'ma go with the flow, but I'm sinister. Somebody should call up the minister. Hop off the flight, pull up on Venice. You know the sack on me like Willie McGinnis. Fuck niggas hate when I say I'm the illest. It ain't shit to talk about, you know my premise. You know I'm a dog, you know I go hard. But deep in your heart, it be hard to reveal it. Just open your eyes and look how I do it. And maybe one day you can live how I'm living. Stand 10 toes, check my goals, count my roll, wrist on froze, don't check me, check the hoe, gotta make sure every nigga in the set follow code.
Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood, the show host here. Hey, big shout out to boxing tonight, man. I thought it was a phenomenal night. I tried to tell everybody that it was going to be a great night. I've been trying to tell people that Super Bantamweight, junior featherweight is a division to watch. And I feel like with the victories by Cool Boy Steph over former WBO champion Angelo Leo, I thought in his performance, as well as the somewhat the unexpected performance by Ra'eese the Beast Aleem in the co-main event against a really talented and a highly skilled formerly undefeated fighter in Vic Pasillas. You can't ask for anything better. So I'm hoping that the TV numbers reflect that wins this week. Whenever those get out there, I think, man, Showtime is doing its best to be competitive, to put on quality fights. I think Steven Espinosa's commitment to the game and his love and interest for the sport, I think that's continues to be a part of what drives what they're doing. And I'm just thankful for that, because I love Showtime Championship Boxing, or Showtime Boxing. Even the show box, I think, is extremely dope. Quick note, I was able to get in some questions over on the Showtime. I'm imagining that the post-fight press conference was up on Showtime's YouTube channel. So I was able to get in some questions to both Aleem as well as Cool Boy Steph. And shout out to Chris de Blasio over at Showtime. I get confused, man, when my hand is up or when my hand isn't raised when you're in those Zoom conferences. And I thought my hand was up. I minimized the screen, and I think my hand wasn't up. And they said that they weren't going to take any more questions. I hit the button to raise my hand, and then Chris was decent enough to let me get in a final question. And I bring this up because, man, I see a lot of cats. Like, now I'm sitting here with no viewers. That's cool. I'm doing what I like to do, and it's late as hell. But a lot of cats sit on here bumping their gums about all types of stuff. I'm sure tomorrow and Monday, even despite the fact that we had a phenomenal card tonight, it's a lot of dudes that are going to be on the channels with 800-900 viewers, 200 viewers, 60 viewers, talking about something that they don't know nothing about, something they haven't seen, and they don't put in any work. I put in a lot of work in this thing, and I'm on here with one person now. Appreciate you joining in. And it is what it is. But I thought tonight was a dope. Damn, that person left too. That's how it goes. But I thought it was a great fight, man. I'm gonna run down through what I thought, and if somebody wants to if anybody does come in and hang out, I'll put the call-in number up if you want to chop it up about the action tonight. If not, I'm not gonna lose any sleep tonight. But that is what I'm trying to do in 2021 is reach out and link up and connect, and chop it up with other fight fans. But looking at the opening bout between Romero and Avery Sparrow. I'm gonna be honest, man. I try not to be too negative with my boxing coverage, man, but I hope I never see another fight with Avery Sparrow again. I think he was on ESPN last June with Abraham Nova. I don't know if that was at 130 or 135, but I really hope I never see Avery Sparrow again. I know it's crazy because his last few fights, he's come into fight week under the worst circumstances possible. The last two against Nova and now against Romero, he was a late ad, 2 or 3 days. Actually, he just took this fight after Justin Paldo was like 4 or 5 pounds over and couldn't get down the weight. And Rory was, damn, who the hell is Rory Sparrow? I know that name from somewhere, but Avery Sparrow was given a heads up. At least they said on the program, on the show, they said 5 weeks. On the press information that I received, they said it was like 3 weeks, but he was already in camp and didn't have a whole lot of weight to lose. He comes in at 136 and wasn't able to fight for Rolly's his interim WBA interim lightweight title. But he gets a chance to fight. He said that he was going to come forward and walk down Rolly and knock him out and stop him and whatnot. I didn't really believe that. And I thought that would have been foolish. But he looked a little loose in his chest. He looked a little loose in his chest against Abraham Nova. And just an awkward fighter. I don't really like what he does in the ring. I don't like his ring presence. It looks like he can fight. Prior to the Abraham Nova situation, he had the fight scheduled to face Ryan Garcia and got arrested. The brother is crazy, but the brother got arrested ahead of the weigh-in by what do they call those people? Not the sheriffs, but it's not the National Guard. What the hell is those cats' name? They made a movie on it with Wesley Snipes. U.S. Marshals. The brother got grabbed up by the U.S. Marshals and didn't get to fight Ryan Garcia. Then the Nova fight, late replacement. Then this fight, 2 day heads up. And he went in there, he got knocked down in the first round. And just with a late replacement, I know he said he was like a few weeks into camp when he got the heads up on this, that it would be a possibility and that he should stay ready. But I don't know, man. I just didn't like how he looked. He seemed like he got caught off guard early in the fight. Early in the first round when Rolly shoved that jab in his face that knocked his mouthpiece out, and then Rolly steps forward. It was almost like the left hook to the body that Ryan Garcia knocked out Luke Campbell with, but he went up top with it. When Luke Campbell went to brace himself and got into his high guard and exposed his body, and Ryan kind of not quite in mid-punch, before mid-punch, sent the shot to the body to get the knockdown. Rolly went upstairs and got the left hook to the flush and knocks down Avery Sparrow. Sparrow gets up. And Rolly stayed composed, for some reason. and just elects to box, you know, for the next several rounds. He throws a lot of punches really heavy. He was jabbing a little bit, but he's off balance. Sometimes he's in between steps. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. But I'll give Rolly credit, man. He did what he needed to do. He beat up a guy that he was supposed to beat up, kept the pressure on him. Whoever just came in, let me know if you want to call in and talk about the fights. Appreciate you for showing up, whoever you are. I'll put the number up on the screen if you want to actually weigh in and talk about what you saw tonight. Peace. You're out of here. Okay, that's cool too. But yeah, you know, Sparrow, you know, I don't know. He looks like a southpaw fighting orthodox to me or something. But he was late with the right hand. He was swinging wildly. And just it was just an ugly fight. The action was choppy. Romero's offense is very crude looking. He's off balance, punching on the wrong foot, jabbing he's shoving his jab, pushing his jab. He's trying to throw like double or two shot combinations with his left hand. And I don't know, man. But you know, he gets the victory in the 7th round. Luckily for the corner of Sparrow, they spared us where we didn't have to watch any more of it. And he had the leg injury, which I thought it was a knockdown in real time. But as they showed it, something happened or whatever. His leg buckled. He goes and gets the 2-point deduction for an intentional low blow. He's just trying to buy time and survive, man. And again, he's one of these cats. I just don't want to see him on TV no more, man. I mean, to come in and not just box, to do all the roughhouse tactics and just looking crude and basic. I don't understand that. And it looks like the dude has some game. Like, why would you go in there and just give your record up like that and get your 3rd loss or whatever, 3rd or 4th? I don't know, man. I don't want to see him on TV no more. It's a couple other guys. Maybe if it comes to my mind, one of the other dudes who gets on TV that I don't want to see on TV anymore. But he's definitely in that. And he looks like a cool dude. I mean, he just goes on. He's really embarrassing himself at this point. And I would think that it'll be hard unless another promoter gets in a bad situation, you know, where they just need a body and maybe he gets a chance. Maybe that's how it happens. Getting to the co-main event. Hey, I tried to tell you it was going to be a hell of a fight. Shout out to my connect for hooking me up with the interviews with both Vic Pasillas and Ra'eese Aleem. Hopefully, you know, you made your way over to bitedownboxing.com to check out the preview that I did on the fight. I tell you what, man, I was leaning towards Vic Pasillas, but there was something about Ra'eese Aleem's athleticism, his tail of the tape advantages, and the fact that the dude is 30 years old. Well, he's from the Midwest too. And the Midwest, you know, like the Mayweather say, the best fighters come from the Midwest. Best fighters come from the Midwest, hands down. You know, I don't talk a lot of trash, but the best fighters come from the Midwest. I will say that. But yeah, man, I was leaning towards Pasillas because I saw a lot of versatility in his style and his, you know, his skill set and whatnot. I thought he had good power. But Aleem's. I said in a press conference when I was able to get in some questions with him a couple of weeks ago, I heard something on the playoff game a couple of weeks ago with Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. And Collinsworth was talking, I don't know if he was talking about Devontae Parker. was it Parker or was it Cheetah? My man from the wide receiver from the Chiefs. But he said something about short space quickness. And that shit was phenomenal. In looking at athletes. And Ra'eese Aleem has short space quickness. And they also, I think BoxRec had it wrong that they had him at like 60. They only had him at like a 2.5 inch reach advantage. Unless I just didn't have my glasses on, which I don't have on now. But they said he had a 2.5 inch reach advantage. And then when they put it up on the screen on Showtime, he had like a 4.5 or 5 inch reach. It was either 4.5 or 5 inch reach advantage. And just that short space quickness. I did say in my article, I said he was twitchier. I said he was twitchier than, it's a difference in being athletically quick and boxing quick, which I thought Vic Pasillas had good boxing quickness and great anticipation. And, I mentioned that he could go from defense to offense in a real slick manner. But Ra'eese Aleem just eliminated all of that. I mean, that was a hell of a performance, man. I really haven't seen a person punish somebody's body like that. The taller guy banging away at the shorter guy with the shorter arms. I hadn't really seen that, at the upper echelon level. I don't know if these guys are world class, but I think Aleem established himself as the one of the top 4 or 5 fighters at Super Bantamweight. Hey, whoever just joined the chat, I'll throw it out there to you, man. If you want to call in and talk about tonight's fights, since you clicked on the video or the stream, I'll put the number up if you'd like to call in and speak on it. But other than that, man, I think Aleem really established himself as one of the dudes to watch in the division. Damn, my man was like, fork out of here and just bounced on me. That's cool. Go hang out with it's a large number of folks on the Boxing Voice or something or wherever. Okay. Don't hurt my feelings. But yeah, he gets the knockdown in the 2nd round, the 6th round, the 9th round, and then gets the stoppage in the 11th. I thought he was messed up all night. He was moving to his right. Aleem was moving to his right to Pasillas' left hand with him being a southpaw. All of that stuff about maintaining the outside foot on the lead foot, none of that stuff came into play. Circling to his power hand, none of that stuff mattered. I was kind of shocked. But his ability to operate from outside, from long distance, and to just be creative, awkward. It was like Vic Pasillas couldn't set his feet. He couldn't set his feet and get his power. He was throwing some check. He was throwing some check left hooks, maybe even check right hooks. I got my notes on another screen. I apologize. I'm not going to get up articles tonight. I was once I saw that I had a link to get into the post-fight press conferences for all 3 fights, I kind of got scatterbrained in what I wanted to do tonight. So I didn't write these up. I did take some notes, and I might get some articles up during the week, but no articles tonight. And I like to write. I really like to put up write-ups, but it was quite a bit to watch, and I had a good idea. I had a good feeling that I was going to be able to get in some questions during the post-fight press conferences, and I thought that was more important. Like I said, man, I try to separate myself from a lot of cats sitting here in this same seat talking on these channels. I try to do a lot of work in different spaces to kind of separate myself. It goes unappreciated and whatnot, but it is what it is. But I was shocked. You saw the confidence in Pasillas early on. One thing that I wondered going into this fight, man, I was really concerned with how confident Pasillas was, to where Pasillas became too confident. he became overconfident to where he started disregarding what Aleem brought to the table. And I don't know if that's truly what happened 100%, but because he got inside, he closed the distance, very early, and he was inside doing his thing. But they just seem to fight on two different rhythms. And Aleem, like I said, with him being able to use that body lean from outside and get away from Pasillas's short arm punches, and then pop right back in and be on him and touching. And then just the way like I said, the combinations that he was putting together, Pasillas could never set his feet. He seemed uncomfortable to understand, to determine where the punches were coming from. With that arm, with that reach advantage, he always just seemed to be in harm's way. And then the punishment just started mounting. And obviously, the guy drops you in the second round. He was very lucky to finish that round. He was out of it at the end of that round. One of those shots, I don't know if it was the 6th or the 9th round. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I thought he cupped him a little bit. Somebody else just joined the chat. If you want to call in and talk about your views on any of the fights tonight, I can throw the number. I'm just gonna throw the number up in the chat in case anybody wants to call in and talk some boxing. And just make sure this line is open first. Where we at? There we go. Damn, that person left before I could even get the shit up here. If you want to call in and talk some boxing. There you go. But yeah, man. I thought, Pasillas came back. Let me see. Let me go back through here. The right hook immediately over. He was just able to touch Vic and get his. And I said this when I talked to him, and watching Vic and talking to Aleem, I said, he was going to have to give Vic something immediately to get his respect, to slow him down, to deter him from trying to assert himself. But that was not even the problem. Obviously, Aleem was never really worried about. Vic just did very little, except maybe in that 8th round. Yeah, in the 8th round, Pasillas started having some success inside from mid-range. His confidence grew a little bit, but by that time, he was kind of beat up a little bit and didn't have a lot of steam on his punches. He just didn't have a lot of pop on his punches. And then Aleem had dropped his hands. His chin was kind of straight up in the air. His technique kind of went away from him a little bit. He wasn't as sharp in that 8th round. But he comes back in the 9th round and immediately, gets in his ass again. He's back on him again and is beating him up. A couple of left hooks. My note was he scored the third knockdown as Pasillas was gaining momentum. Pasillas' glove touched the canvas. That might have been the one where it actually looked like a little bit of a cuff shot. But I think it was 2 or 3 hooks in a row. And, it did what it did. Let me see here. Round 10, Aleem is still in and out, working behind his length and with his jab. He's throwing lead right shots. He's kind of doing whatever he wanted to do. One thing that I asked him was he was so successful with everything that he was trying. Did you run into a point where maybe you just try to do too much just because it's like a heat check? You just come down and shoot a 28-foot jump shot or 29-foot jump shot just because you can. Then we get into the 11th round. I mean, he's cruising, man. I'm very shocked at how one-sided this fight has become for a good 8 or 9 rounds. You saw it was a wide distance on the cards when it was stopped, but it ends in the 11th. Like I said, he's still circling to his right towards Pasillas' left hand, but he's stopping and popping as he wants, pot shotting, however you want to look at it. And then he just lands this shot on the button that to close out the show, where the referee was like, "That's it, I've seen enough." But it was just an overhand right. He was moving to his right, stops, like I said, and catch. I don't know if he was setting a trap because he went to go throw that right, and Pasillas had thrown his shot. He ate his shot to land his overhand right. Like I said, he's comfortable with what Pasillas had on his pop, with the level of pop that Pasillas had at that point, and he steps through to land his shot at the 1 minute mark, and the referee is like, "Hey, that's it, man. We've seen enough. This isn't changing. Just watching the same thing round after round after round. That's it." So I thought it was a great stoppage. That's just, man. That I said that these guys, I favored Pasillas before, and that's one thing. That's a testament to what Aleem has going on, man, to get better and better fight to fight. But like I said, he's 30 years old. It's getting late. Shout out to Floetry. Or was that just yeah, that was Floetry and not just Marsha Ambrosius. But it's getting late for the brother, and it's go time. And actually, man, what I saw from him tonight, man, Aleem matches up very well with Morojdon Akhmadaliev. I hope they can make that fight. I hope they get that fight together. And I think one thing that's positive, because he's not rated. They mentioned it about him facing the winner of the main event in Leo and Fulton, which Fulton was prevailed. I'll get to that fight here in just a second. But Aleem is not ranked in the top 15 of the WBO. Now, will he be after this performance? Maybe. But he's not currently ranked in the top 15 for the WBO. So who knows if he can get that fight or not. But what I saw in Akhmadaliev against Danny Roman when they fought last January? Aleem can fight with MJ. That's a hell of a fight. And with him not being a PBC fighter, he's a Prince Ranch boxing fighter. Both him and Pasillas were Prince Ranch boxing. I'm wondering if they can get him over there to the zone and get that together. And what the hell is going on with MJ, with Akhmadaliev? Like they said, he hasn't fought in over a year. And I would have thought with the performance that he put in against Daniel Roman but all of the other belts are with the PBC, with Luis Neri having the WBC, Stephen Fulton now having the WBO, and then Akhmadaliev has the WBA and the IBF, I believe. But they got to do something with the guy. But hell of a performance by Aleem, man. Like I said, the Midwest has the best fighters. He showed it tonight. Now he went out to Vegas to make that happen. And like I said, man, that's a hell of a performance, man. That's gonna be on the radar for a while as for me, I guess, maybe just for me, but for performance of the year. You talk about this guy and Pasillas coming in with the amateur pedigree that he had, and to just completely take that dude apart systematically. And like I said, outside of that 8th round where he got sloppy, where he dropped his guard, and then even later in the rounds, he started, 9th, 10th, he was doing his in and out thing, which was very successful, but he was also getting out over his front foot quite often and exposing his chin. And just Pasillas was beat up and not able to capitalize on it. And when he did catch him, He just didn't have a lot of pop on it. Hey, whoever is in the who's ever watching, you know, if you want to call in and talk about, so if you wanted to, that's up to you. Getting ready to get into this main event, man. Again, I'm so happy about Super Bantamweight. Again, man, people spend an exorbitant amount of time complaining about shit and complaining about the fights that can't happen. And Super Bantamweight, we really don't care about guys beneath 126. I mean, between probably 130, even getting below 135. We tend to not care about these guys, but 122 has bodies there. It's a lot of talent, and these guys can fight one another. The business won't get in the way of these fights getting made, and you know, it's just one to watch. I think it's dope that Showtime, you know, already has plans of matching these guys together, and we'll see what happens. But I take what I can get, man. I ain't choosy. Like I said, I predicted this to be a hell of a night for boxing, and I thought even in the main event, Leo as the champion, I thought he was gonna be able to put something together late, and I thought he had a pretty decent start. He was outmatched. Oh, what's up, Corey? What's good, bro? Yeah, you know, the highlights will be out there on Showtime's channel, or Showtime's YouTube channel. I was able to get into the post-fight press conference and ask some questions, so you know, yours truly might pop up on there. I gotta add my bite down boxing spice to the content, man. So I didn't write any articles tonight, but I'm gonna try to go back and put some stuff up throughout the week, some editorial pieces, and just approach the fight from a different angle as I would on fight night. But Leo, nah, not big time, man. Just doing it for the culture, man. That's it. I was just mentioning earlier, a lot of brothers want to sit up and complain about the system and throw stones at the system and tear down the system and complain. But sometimes you actually got to be in the room. You know, sometimes you actually got to be a part of the machine to bring about the change that you want to see. But I'm in here talking to zero viewers and shit. I could probably go to a couple of channels right now with some idiots talking some shit that is terrible, but that's neither here nor there. But Leo, I was kind of pulling for Leo, man. I really respected, you know, when a champion, when any of these fighters, you know, when you take a fight, when you got to fight against a late replacement, 24, 48 hours, my math is bad. 72 hours prior to a title fight, and you just got to fight the guy that they give you. I got to tip my cap to you, because it's a lot of dudes, like we see it right now at lightweight. We're all excited about the talent at lightweight, and ain't none of them dudes looking at fighting. None of those dudes can get that fight that we all want to see. Whether it's Garcia, whether it's Ryan Garcia against Devin Haney against Lopez, Ryan Garcia against Teofimo Lopez, none of that stuff can happen. And now it doesn't even look like, you know, there's really any move to make Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. I was hoping, based on what I could make out of the business situation, I was hopeful that that fight could be made. But for Angelo Leo, appreciate it. That's the goal, bro. Actually, I ain't even a numbers dude, man. Like I said, I would be talking this tomorrow by myself in my car. So I just hit record and I just do it here just because I can. So I appreciate it though. But Leo, man, I was for the kid, man. But it was easy to see very early on, man, that he just didn't have enough dimensions to his game. The one thing that disappointed me in that fight was Angelo Leo's father. Mr. Leo did not have a lot of information to give his son to help his son out. Starting like the 8th or 9th round, definitely getting to the 10th round, Mr. Leo tells his son, he's already waving the white flag. He's like, son, you need a knockout. The only way that we can keep this title and get this victory is you need to knock him out. But he didn't once tell him how to do it. Not a great night from Schwartz in the corner of Vic Pasillas tonight either. He didn't have a lot of adjustments and a lot of good advice, a lot of actionable advice and adjustments and strategy for Vic Pasillas. And maybe he just realized Pasillas was just out. He was just out athleted. He was just out quick twitched and out powered. I mean, sometimes I'm way off. Sometimes I'm way off on what I see. But hell of a performance by Aleem. But Leo, his father didn't have nothing to tell him tonight. How does his father sit there for 10 rounds, for 11 rounds, and you don't have anything substantive to tell your son on how to get a knockout? How the hell can somebody go do something in 2 rounds that they haven't been able to do in 10 rounds? So that's unfortunate for Leo, but I thought he fought a good fight, man. He just, like I said, he just wasn't he wasn't as multi-dimensional as Fulton. I said in my write-up earlier, which I put in the description, a link in the description, I said that there wasn't going to be any knockdowns in this fight and that it was going to go to the cards and it was going to be difficult for Leo to distinguish himself as the better man. And once Fulton, Fulton started out working the jab, classic boxer, mover, just beautifully just controlling the action with the jab through the first and second round. And then we get into the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, where he fights where Leo wants to fight. I'm like, damn. Leo doesn't have anything else in his toolbox to offset any of this, to take control of this fight. He's going to continue to be dictated to. And the only thing that he could really hope to be was to be inside trading shots and maybe one of the judges see it for the champion because he's the champion. But once he starts getting marched back, and I thought in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, maybe the 6th, he wasn't consistently getting Fulton's back against the ropes. He was fighting in the middle of the ring a little too much, on the outside of the center of the ring, on the edges of the center of the ring. He was doing that too much. And then it gets to the 5th and the 6th round, definitely into the 6th round. Once Fulton starts pushing him backwards, putting his back onto the ropes, he really couldn't fight from that position. And then I knew it was a wrap. Fulton also took away his right hand. He had some success with the right hand in the first 2 rounds. Fulton was able to get some space and see that and defend that, took that away from him. He puts the 2 rounds in back to back. They said his punches per round, his average was like around 49 or 50. He goes up over 100. In the 5th round, I think they said he went up to 125 punches. 6th round, he goes up over 100 punches again. He's outworking him. He's holding his glove as the referee is on the other side. He's holding his glove on the other side, disrupting what Leo wants to do. And Leo just he can't out physical, and he's not stronger than him. He doesn't have that game-changing power. He can't jab with him. He just ran out of tools. He just got beat by the better fighter. But the only thing is, so let me see what I had getting to the latter part of that. Oh, I mean, and then in the 11th, the championship rounds, I mean, it was academic at that point. Sucks to be Leo. You know, it's just academic at that point. He's the better man. He has more wrinkles to his game. And then, you know, when you get desperate, then Fulton goes back to his space game and he's managing his range. He's jabbing beautifully again, moving, slipping shots, better ring generalship, ring IQ. You know, what do you say about a guy who's out of the ring? He's out of the ring 363 days and comes back, and in the 5th and 6th round, knowing you have a lot of rounds ahead of you, the guy doubles his punch output, his normal punch output, and throws over 100-some punches and seems to not care. Like, you know, you're in trouble. You know, you're in trouble. Great night, though. Again, like I said, with Aleem not being top 15 in the WBO, it's hard to try to get excited for a potential showdown with Ra'eese Aleem and new champion Stephen Fulton. But I'd take Aleem in that matchup, with Fulton being a damn good boxer. But like I said, man, Aleem showed us something tonight that I don't think anybody else in the division can do. And I'm not trying to be a prisoner of the moment, but and the new WBO Super Bantamweight champion Stephen Fulton, cool boy Steph, he can do quite a bit. He's a hell of a boxer. He's a very good boxer. Like I said, he can box from all 3 levels. He's comfortable in the ring. He's confident, but he doesn't have Aleem's power. He's not as dynamic of athletically as Aleem, but Aleem can go make some noise. After that performance right there, he can go make some noise. Now, Aleem is not perfect. He makes a lot of mistakes. He got a little, he got a little reckless with his technique. He got a little reckless with his defense, but I think he did it because he knew he beat the hell out. He'd beaten Pasillas up and was comfortable. He was comfortable to make those mistakes, knowing that Pasillas couldn't capitalize on them. But yeah, Aleem, you know, he sends a message to the division, man, and it'll be interesting to see what Prince Ranch Boxing can do for him to get him into the next level. I don't know what's going on with Morozjan Akhmadaliev. You know, you're sitting on 2 titles. You've been out of the ring for a year. I'm surprised that he hasn't been a part of but you know, Matchroom Boxing really hasn't set up anything for North America other than off-season video. Yeah, let's do that, man. I can definitely do next Friday, Corey. Wednesday, Thursday, or next week. I could probably do Thursday. I'll holler at you. Yeah, I definitely want to talk about what's next, what's possible. So yeah. If you can, man, throw your email in there or something so I can holler at you offline. And we can definitely, and you just said the Redskins, man. What's good? You know it's the Washington football team. Yeah, if you can throw your or you can email me if you don't want to put it in here. You can email me at paymenomindShow@gmail.com. And we can chop it up. I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that publicly. But yeah, man, Aleem, like I said, man, it was a good night of boxing, man. It was a good night of boxing. I was proud. I'm sitting here now. I was hoping to get an email, possibly some contact I was talking to at Showtime was like, we might want to get with you for a victory lap for the winner. But you know, it is after 1 o'clock. I mean, shit. Some dudes went to the hospital so on and so forth. So, you know, it wasn't like that was gonna happen, but a brother has to be optimistic. I'm gonna try to get Ra'eese Aleem on, you know, as some follow-up. like I said, I was pretty impressed with the guy's performance tonight, and I'm gonna try to get him back on and talk through it. I like his story, man. You know, he ended up being the more humble of the two. He beat the hell out of Vic, and I don't think Vic is through. I really don't think Vic is through. I think Vic just I don't want to say that he underestimated or overlooked Aleem. I think he just, you know, Vic he's a fighter, you know, he's a warrior. And he shot his shot. Kind of like Prograis and Josh Taylor. You know, he went in there and did his thing, and just the other guy had more than he expected. And it was crazy because instantly it turned into like good big man against big little man, or I mean a good little man. And I really wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't expecting that. But it was such a contrast in styles between Pasillas and Aleem that I saw more ways for Pasillas to win the fight based on the versatility that I saw in him and his amateur pedigree. Show. You got to throw show on the end of that. Pay me no mind, show at gmail.com. Shoot me that, and then we'll set up a time, and we can talk through that. Because you know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, man. I just bought some equipment to be able to talk, you know, to share my thoughts on stuff. I don't know nothing about football. But I saw Stafford left, you know, Stafford is leaving Detroit. I also saw that we weren't on Deshaun Watson's short list of the Jets or the that's kind of messed up when we can't even get on the list with the Jets and Miami. Although I wouldn't mind going to play for Brian Flores too. I think Flores is the next Mike Tomlin. I like Flores's I like his organizational skills. I like his preparation, and I like Flores. I think he's gonna be a beast. But I honestly, you know, some big money I think still out there due to Stafford. And Stafford, you know, he's gone through stints where turnovers were a problem for him, but I think I'd rather take Stafford for some reason. Deshaun is a superstar, and Deshaun can play. You know, he can do it all, but two or three first round draft picks to get Deshaun Watson, that's just too much. I'm feeling like the Rams when they got the haul off of the Redskins at the time to get RG3, and then several years later the Rams and the Redskins played, and it was like 4 or 5 dudes up there for the Rams that ended up being the picks that the Redskins gave up to get RG3. And I think RG3 wasn't even on the team no more. So it's hard to turn right around and make that same type of commitment to Watson. But I love Deshaun's game, but I'd rather go with Stafford personally. We will chop it up. Stafford is perfect fit. Can't mortgage the future for Watson. We too young and too talented. Yeah. I like to get I wouldn't mind rocking with Stafford for the right price, and then finally getting that number 2 spot locked up, and maybe even somebody in the slot wouldn't be bad too. I had a good feeling that brother from where was he from? From Liberty. Golden Gandy, again in Golden. I like the dude. I like the young man, but I didn't see him being successful. And maybe maybe he can do something next year. But coming from Liberty, I didn't see that brother being successful whatsoever. But he's a good dude, though. And I'm somewhat hopeful that Gandhi AGG with the right with the mentality that he has, that he's a guy that could figure it out. You know, he doesn't have off-field issues, no character issues and whatnot, that he could figure out how to have a role. But I don't know, man. He didn't seem to be no Brandon Marshall type of big receiver. I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting out of my depth. I really don't have a lot more to say, man, other than like I said, man, I'm gonna try to take my notes and put up some articles next week, because I am a big fan of Super Bantamweight, 122 pounds. I thought it was a hell of a night for the division. I hope come Tuesday or Wednesday or whenever the TV numbers come out, I hope that it's a show that did well for Showtime. Like I said, man, I think Showtime is a positive in terms of the coverage of boxing, the quality of the fights that they aim for. You know, the commentary team is pretty good. I enjoy them. I'm not a big fan of the Uncasville or the Mohegan Sun environment. I'm almost like Eddie Hearn, like, and I know you can't do nothing outdoors, you know, in the Northeast at this time of year, but in that dark ass arena, no fans, no fan noise. It's real drab in there, man. Like, they need to do something to spice that up. Besides Mauro Ranello, you know, trying to do his different thing and entertain in the way that he does. But like I said, man, I thought it was a great fight on paper. I thought they over-delivered tonight. Shout out to the four fighters, Pasillas, Ra'eese Aleem, taking his step forward. Cool Boy Steph becoming a world champion. Philadelphia as a boxing city, their only current world champion. Shout out to him. And shout out to him for being for elevating his brand and being just continuing to raise his profile, be a pro, to be multidimensional, good fighter, well-rounded fighter. Shout out to Stephen Fulton. Shout out to Leo, you know, Angelo Leo. I feel bad for the kid, man. Just outclassed tonight. Outclassed, unfortunately. But, you know, he became a world champion. And that's so ironic that he became a champion. He became a world champion last year in August, was scheduled to face Fulton then for a vacant title. And Fulton comes down with his test positive for COVID 3 days out before fight night. Tremaine Williams is elevated to face Angelo Leo. Angelo Leo goes in there and beats him. Wasn't training to face a southpaw. Tremaine Williams is a southpaw, has a slow start against him, overcomes that, beats him up, becomes world champion. And then immediately, you know, they said it on fight night, like, you got 90 days to make the fight with Stephen Fulton, who's a guy who you know is automatically going to be inserted as the favorite against you. Like I said, man, boxing is cruel. All this stuff that we see going on at lightweight, dudes saying what they want to do, who they want to fight. Ryan Garcia telling the champion who he should go fight. Ryan Garcia telling Devin Haney, the champion, that he's a mandatory opponent for. He could in his next fight, he could fight for a world title. When he tells Devin Haney, you need to go fight Teofimo Lopez. I'm going to go fight Gervonta Davis, which that's not happening now. It doesn't look like that's happening. Like, all of this weird, frustrating, off-putting shit that happens in all of these other divisions. It's a couple of different divisions out there where they don't have those luxuries. By the way, I was trying to get somebody on here to talk to me about what's going on. Why the hell can't we get Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor? Like, what's the hold up on that? and my email has not been responded to yet. I'm a double back and bug the hell out of somebody this week who told me to reach out to them about that call. Somebody involved in the negotiations. Why can't we get that fight? We're seeing fights come together. We already have the schedule for the first quarter. Why can't we get that fight? We've already got Jamel Herring and Carl Frampton for February 27th, I want to say, on ESPN or ESPN Plus. It might go to ESPN Plus since it's going down over in the UK. But why is there no movement on Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez? Like, I understand they probably want to, they probably want to do it over in the UK. And right now, fights are banned in the UK for January. But, Matchroom came out, has announced its schedule for February and March. So what's going on with that fight? Maybe there's a big gate that they could expect for Josh Taylor, the IBF and WBA champion. But and it's good. I've heard some more comments from Josh Taylor. And then I'm hearing some some chatter from the business side of, from Team Ramirez. So it's good to hear some chatter out there. But what's holding that up? Unfortunately, no movement on Inoue and Casemiro. That's a bit disappointing. Actually, that's a scratch because Inoue is already looking forward to this. He's already moving forward with a Japan bout against this Das Marinas cat or something. So scratch that one. But I don't understand why we're not hearing some negotiations between Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor. That fight needs to get done. That needs to get done. Well, look, man. I appreciate Corey Evans for checking in with me a couple of times. I think the brother said he's at work. Is that what he said? Yeah, no, they told me keep putting in work. He said I got to check the highlights at work. Anyway, tonight was somewhat successful. Like I said, I did want to I did a little bit of work ahead of tonight's fight, especially with getting the co-main event fighters onto the channel for live stream interviews. I didn't mean to do that. And then being an advocate for the 122-pound division. So, it was good to get into the press conference and do my thing over there for Showtime to look out for me and let me, as probably the only independent person in there, to be able to get in and ask some questions to the two winners, and Aleem and Fulton. That was pretty dope. I'm gonna have to go back and check the Showtime YouTube channel and see what that was about. Let me get ready to get on out of here, man. It's 1:34 in the morning. I'm gonna hang around though and see who's out there talking boxing and what they're talking about. Let me bring back my man Sleeko got bars in his new single Follow Code. I do apologize for the all the N-word and some of the MF this and that, but I don't know if bro maybe he has a clean version I could play. I need to holler at the management or Moves Media, who's behind Sleeko got bars, and see if it's got explicit on this one. So I wonder if there's a clean version. I'm old, man. I'm 45, man. I ain't about all of that bitches and hoes, N-word this, MF that. I ain't really into that. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm kind of hyped tonight. It's almost like I traveled to a fight and did my thing ringside or in the media row. I'm usually in the back row, but I'm in the Billy. Or whatever that means. Let me get ready to get on out of here, man.
Stand 10 toes, check my goals, count my roll, wrist on froze. Oh yeah, don't check me. Check the hoe. Gotta make sure every nigga in the set follow code. I jumped off the porch and I started a wave. Y'all niggas was stuck in the fish tank. When motherfuckers see me, it's nothing but love. The real niggas know I got big rank. The reefer is potent, my flow is the coldest. They can't wait till I get a big break. Told the bitch I'm a killer, she said I'm a minister. Bitch made me feel like Lorenz Tate. I'm keeping it humble without all the stunting. I'm moving more solid than most niggas. Ain't no type of morals and no type of honor, and that be my problem with most niggas. When I'm with the mafia, we get it poppin'. I'm popping my collar like those niggas. Ain't looking for cod, don't want no tilapia when I tell niggas I'm going fishing. When I'm back on the hoe, gotta reel it in. And I ain't a nigga, I'm feeling it. Good spirits, bad vibes, number 5, you know that I'm working 10 to 10. I'ma go with the flow, but I'm sinister. Somebody should call up the minister. Hop off the flight, pull up on Venice. You know the sack on me like Willie McGinnis. Fuck niggas hate when I say I'm the illest. It ain't shit to talk about, you know my premise. You know I'm a dog, you know I go hard, but deep in your heart, it'd be hard to reveal it. Just open your eyes and look how I do it, and maybe one day you can live how I'm living. Stand 10 toes, check my goals, count my roll, wrist on froze.
You know I shut it down all the time, man. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. One.
Check my goals, count my roll, wrist on froze. Don't check me, check the hoe. Gotta make sure every nigga in the set follow code. I'm beating the odds, you niggas be flawed. You giving the real niggas bad names. Play with the guard, pull up like Rashad. You think